Own the Road with Kelly and Bob is brought to you by Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings. Made in America, made to last. Coming up on this episode.
A lot of people say that they seen us in a magazine or someone told them about us or seen us on Facebook.
Right, or they're going down the road and they see our sign on the side of the interstate.
Hi, we're Kelly
and Bob Phillips, and we're on the perpetual road trip of America's back roads,
where the journey is always the destination.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this episode of On the Road with Kelly and Bob. I'm Bob Phillips.
And I'm Kelly Phillips. If you're a first-time listener, what we do is pretty simple. We travel all over the United States searching for people who are passionate about life, people who are doing things that we find interesting, people who are in some way making our world a better place.
And then there are those stories we just happen upon, like the old store we passed by the other day on Highway 1180 in Kewanee, Mississippi. Needless to say, we made a U-turn.
Life was hard when Gary Pickett grew up here in the country near Kewanee, Mississippi. Long days, short nights, hard work was the only way, and everyone was expected to pull their fair share of the weight. So it might surprise you to know that after leaving for a while, Gary could not wait to get back here to the farm.
My dad wouldn't let us go anywhere because he didn't want us being corrupted by the world. We went to church, we worked. We didn't watch a lot of TV. Daddy worked us real hard. We had a big herd of hogs, about 1,300 head of hogs, 300 head of cattle, and we row cropped 1,100 acres.
What'd you grow?
Soybeans, wheat, and hay. The hay has put the muscle on me because I was lifting fertilizer. We'd get 88 tons every 2 weeks. And then we sold fertilizer in 100-pound sacks. No forklifts, it's all hand.
You picked that stuff up, move it around.
Yeah, then I got married. I went to Mississippi State, worked my way through college milking cows, and I married my wife when I was, 22. And I stayed up here long enough for her to finish. Then we came back here and went back to farming.
What was it about this area that made you want to come back?
Simple way of life, because I'd lived in the cities and did not care for that way of life, and I was so used to being out where I am now. I built our house way away from everybody. My kids say they were raised by wolves.
It's been said that what you know is what you like. That even if your surroundings aren't perfect, it's familiarity that often reaches the soul. For Gary Pickett, that familiarity came in the form of an old country store that seems to have just, always been there. That store was his constant, his touchstone, back then when he was a kid, and still today.
Did you grow up with this store being here?
Yeah. You see this picture right here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was the first store. That's 1884.
Made of wood back then.
Yeah, my great-grandfather and my great-uncle started this store as a trading post. It was just a small thing here. And in 1925, the guy's store next door caught on fire. And because they had wooden roofs and no fire department, this one caught on fire and both of them burnt up. I lived with my grandma and grandpa. My daddy and mama worked all the time. And so I'd be down here doing whatever. The little aunt was in this store. She started working in here in 1926. I talked her into retiring in 1996. She was 93 years old.
You had to talk her into retiring.
Yeah. She said the only way she would retire is if I took over. And she said, now, 2 conditions on you taking over. And I said, what's that? She said, you don't open on Sunday and you don't sell beer. I said, no problem. And people, everybody says, she's gone now, you can sell beer. I said, she ain't gone.
These days, Gary and his wife Janice run this old store, just like they've done for, well, what seems like forever now.
Gary says this place ain't Walmart, but there was a time when it was what kept this part of Mississippi going. And in its own way, it's still important today. In the early days, didn't this place have just about everything you needed?
Yeah, anything. This section over here was medicine. The whole upstairs was nothing but shoes.
Shoes?
Any kind of shoe you wanted, they had it. And on that end of the store, they had caskets. They sold guns, like shotguns, rifles. Didn't have any handguns. We had meat grinders and all kind of stuff to process their meat. He had the slab pork. They just leave it out and cover it up with a wax cloth. Yeah, and then he had two deep freezers there, and in one deep freezer he had fish, and the other one he had chicken, and it'd all be frozen in blocks. Now, if you wanted a pound of fish, he'd get his hatchet out, whack, cut a block of fish off, or anything you wanted like that. A lot of bologna, sold bologna, all kind of sandwich meat. Had vegetables, tomatoes, whatever you wanted, cucumber, squash, anything like that.
Anything you need for life, anything to get by.
Right.
Here at the Simmons-Wright Store, they no longer carry everything you need for life, but they do carry a lot of stuff you want.
In fact, a few years ago, Gary decided to put a kitchen in the back. He staffed that kitchen with a couple of people who know Southern home cooking like the backs of their hands. That changed everything.
This is our kitchen where we prepare all the food.
Okay, you got your own setup back here.
Yes, sir. That's Jamie. That's the baby of the group.
The baby.
The baby.
The baby of the group.
So what are y'all making today?
Today is
We got
Tuesday.
taco, lasagna.
Taco lasagna, chicken salads. Chicken salad, gonna be chicken salad with fries. Chicken salad sandwich with fries. Our sides is turnip greens, corn on cob, green beans, green salad, coleslaw, baked beans, potato salad, cornbread, jalapeno cornbread, or roll. Our menu we have pulled pork every day.
Do you have fried chicken every day?
We have fried chicken every day. Fridays is our catfish.
What would you tell somebody who has never been here why they should come here about this food? What would you tell them?
About the food.
Oh, it is Southern comfort food. It's old Southern comfort food.
And it's from scratch.
Ever thought of retiring?
Yeah. I'm 76, and my wife's 73, so all the time she trying to talk to kids and coming back and taking over.
They're not going to do that, though, are they?
I don't think so. They'll let us walk. I called it the nursing home. They said, where are you? I said, I'm down at the nursing home.
This is your nursing home. This isn't a bad nursing home here.
No, it's pretty, and you get to see people.
Yeah. You feel a responsibility to keep this community going.
Well, I mean, it's people that you've lived around and know real well, and they know you, and they help you out, you help them out. It's just different from everywhere else we've lived.
What's the best part of your day every day?
I get down here early and reading the Bible in the morning.
Is that the first thing you do in the morning?
Yeah, I get down here. But I got an old Bible there that's probably 60 years old. Get down here and try to read the Bible in the morning and reflect a little bit.
What do you think about?
I just thanking the good Lord for all He's done for me.
We spent a lot of time at the old Simmons-Wright Store in Kewanee, Mississippi. And the longer we stayed, and the more we talked with Gary and Janice and the other folks there, the more we understood this community's connection to this special place.
What follows is a portion of those conversations, starting with the story of how the state of Mississippi once attempted to tear down this old store that the state tourism department now embraces. Enjoy.
In 1934, when the WPA was going on, the state came to them and wanted to build a highway, but in 26 they built this store here. But in 1934, my great-grandfather gave the land to the state of Mississippi to build that highway out there. And they used to they had gas pumps out here, and they sold gas, and had an oil rack out here where the people would come get the oil change and stuff like that. But it was mostly farming community. Everybody around farmed. It was not too many vehicles. There was a lot of, when I was a kid, there was horse and buggy. Most of the people would come in here on the wagon, mule and wagon. That was the way it was. Let's see, I don't know what year it was, 2008, 2007, something like that. The state of Mississippi came in there and said that we were going to tear the store down.
Uh-oh.
I said, why? They said, you're on our property. And I told them about great-grandpa giving them the land for the road, and they said, we don't care. So I got a lawyer, and he's a good lawyer, and he said, get that thing on the National Historical Register, and they can't touch it. So we had to go through a year process of them coming in here and doing all the information. We had the records from 1926 after the store burned up till 1969 of what the store did and everything. So they took those records, and we had to make a presentation over to the National Historical Society, and they told us that we qualified. And later, a guy comes in here from the state, he's a lawyer, a big old guy, and he says, what makes y'all think you come over and get over on the state of Mississippi or something like this? I said, who are you? He said, I'm a lawyer for the state of Mississippi. I said, really? I'm a taxpayer for the state of Mississippi. I'm one up on you, bud. And I said, you see that highway out there? I said, the same highway brought you here can take you back to Jackson.
And you sent him packing.
Yeah, he was gone. Grandpa was a very innocent person. He was a deacon in the church, straight as an arrow. They sold over here, they had a big old box of antiseptic. Now, they didn't sell any liquor, but they sold a lot of antiseptic. The people would take a Coca-Cola and take a swallow or two out of the Coke and pour a bottle of antiseptic.
Coke and antiseptic.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't sound too appetizing.
Well, I mean, they did what they did.
So who are your customers?
Just a lot of local people, and since we put those signs on the interstate, the state put those signs up. And we get a lot of people from all over the country. Food now is still a big thing because people like fresh. We either use frozen or fresh vegetables. So like the turnip greens, anything we cook is fresh. And the meat, we have a lot of chicken. That girl's a real good cook on the chicken. So we'll have fried chicken. Everybody wants fried chicken. Pulled pork, we have pulled pork every day. It's always been just like sandwich meat and stuff like that. I just had the idea of I started with a little concession trailer, and I had it out here. And then that's how we started. Now we got a full-blown kitchen back there.
Tell us about this town.
Well, this was a boom town. Back when the little store was first, and this one here, there was houses all around. And then after World War II, the people just started leaving. And now they're coming back. The older people that were here when they were young, been in Detroit or Chicago, and the crime has been so bad that they're coming back here to reestablish themselves.
What's the population in this town?
Around 300. You don't see them, but they're here.
Just scattered out here
Just scattered.
in the rural area.
There's several small towns right there. Just across the line, there's Cuba, Alabama. This probably got 1,500 over there. And the next town up has probably got 1,000. But it's
What about Meridian over there?
they're down to about 30,000. They were 60,000.
How important was this store back in the day, back 100 years ago?
During the Depression, that's the reason it kind of got famous. The people would they'd make them up a little chart on a piece of torn off sack or something, and it says, my grandfather's name was Ryan, R-Y-A-N, C-H Ryan. I've got 100 different spellings of the word Ryan back there in this box of all the things that they would send. Said, could you please send us 50 pounds of flour, 50 pounds of cornmeal, that's what they'd do. They'd sack it up in just regular croaker sacks. They had a grist mill back here. And could you please send us some side meat or something? And most everybody had a garden, and they wouldn't need any vegetables or anything, but just the basic stuff, or maybe some bacon. They'd want some bacon or something. And he'd write them a ticket out. And my aunt, the one that was in here so long, was a clerk, and she would type up everything and have all these people's charts. And most of the people never completely paid all their bills. At the end of the year, they would come in, and when they had their crops, they'd come in and settle up for what they owed.
How important would you say this store is to this community today?
Yeah, really, it's just kind of a stopping spot. They pick up, like I said, the plumbing stuff, or if they want to come in and get, we got several of them regulars that come in here and get, they like my barbecue. I do decent barbecue. I cook my Boston butts 14 hours. They're pretty good.
You do pulled pork from
Right,
that?
and that girl that was just in there, she pulls the pork for me, and she's a real good person. We see the same people a lot, and good friends, and it's kind of like having a newspaper in it. We got several that come in here. The men are worse than the women. The men are coming in and want to know, who's dating who's going out with so-and-so's wife? Or,
You got the center of gossip going on
yeah.
here.
This is like coming to the local salon.
Yeah. But, they're all good people. They just love to talk.
Out of everybody that walks through that door on a typical day, what percentage of them do you know them, know their family, know their name?
Probably 80%.
My gosh. This has become as much tourist attraction as store, hasn't it?
Yeah. And word of mouth, a lot of these people will come in here because so-and-so told them to come eat our fried chicken or eat our pulled pork, and just like that.
Is your fried chicken really good?
Yeah.
You eat it?
Yeah.
Do you eat here every day?
Yeah.
Tell us about the stove here. This
It's
brand new?
It was here. Yeah, it was here when this store was built. That pipe's steel. You'll have a lot of people sitting around here. And even when it gets real cold, we'll have the windows closed upstairs, and it holds the heat real well.
What about the air conditioning bill?
You'll see these fans. All I've got is the fans. And I got a big fan up there, got a big one back yonder, and then a real big one back here at the back of the store. So that's it.
You said people sit around right in here. You have the Spit and Whittle Club gather here a lot?
Yeah, most of them dead now, though. They had the little spittoon. They'd come in here and chew their tobacco and
Solve the world's problems.
tell the story. Business picked up when old Trump got elected. Everybody got a story they want to tell or hear. But
What do you think that had to do with your business, him getting elected?
I don't know. Of course, you get a lot of people that are lefties, and they don't care for him too much, and they'll tell you about it. But I said everybody's got an opinion.
You don't have any opinions, do you?
But my wife tells me to shut up and keep them to myself.
Why do you keep all of the old receipts still?
I'm gonna make a collage, put in here somewhere, and put those old receipts that they sent. I'm gonna thumbtack them up there on that collage and let people see, and see if they can pick out whose their granddaddy's was out of the bunch. It's just funny to see all those torn off pieces of paper, though. Then as we were looking through all the stuff here, my aunt was a real good cook, the one that ran the store till she was 93. And we found this old big John Deere parts manual. It normally be about this thick. It was about this thick. She had taken it. This book was probably worth a couple $1,000 because it's so old, back from the early 1900s. She had taken it and glued recipes on every page. Recipes of chocolate pie, coconut pie. She loves sweets.
In the John Deere manual?
In the John Deere manual. She had all these handwritten recipes. And then it'd come down to something like a pinch of this, a pinch of that, and stuff like that in there.
You still have that?
My son's going to have a recipe book made out of it. And he's going to use actual pictures of those pages instead of having it written all out. but it's actually what she wrote in there.
Yeah.
But she can make a chocolate pie that, woo, it was out of this world. This little woman and I have been married.
That's Janice.
Janet,
53 years.
53.
How has he been hard to put up with?
We've had our times, but we made it through them.
53 years.
Yes, in this old Kewanee.
Yeah, I brought
In
her
the
here.
country.
She was from Jackson. You know, I
You're
brought her.
from the big city.
I'm from the big
You're a
city.
city girl.
I told my dad worked over here, and I told my dad, I met somebody from Kewanee. He said, honey, it's nothing but rednecks over there.
Was he right?
Pretty much. It's nothing but country folks, but good country folks. Yeah.
He says y'all have got a pretty good life going here.
Pretty much so. We work all the time. We stay down here.
We'll never be rich.
Well, you're rich in other ways.
Right. Yeah. People establish things in their life that
We
they
meet a lot
set
of
goals of being a millionaire. Like we have one guy that came from here. He lives in Plano, Texas, and he tells them where to drill for oil all over the world. I was talking to him and I said, "What you gonna do today?" It was on a Saturday. He said, "Well, my wife and I are fixing to go get on my jet and fly to Mexico City and have breakfast." I said, "Then what you gonna do?" He said, "We're gonna fly back." I said, "You gonna fly a jet all the way to Mexico City
Just to eat.
Eat breakfast?" He said, I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I can."
That's it.
Well, okay then.
What's it like working with your husband?
When I first found out that I was going to, because we had different types of work. I was a teacher and he was a logger, and we came in here. I said, "Oh, we're never gonna make it," but we did. We it's good. I mean, a lot of times he's gone and I'm in here, but then we'll have those busy days where I'm just packed. And it's
Well, on the 4th of July, we were going to close down, take 4th off and go do whatever.
we usually do.
And two of our ladies that work for us says, we want to work. So we opened up that Friday. We had the
swamped.
busiest day we've had.
Other than the food that you fix back there, what's the biggest sellers in this store?
Our pork skins, our cheese. We have hoop cheese. They love the hoop cheese.
Tell people what hoop cheese is, because we got people in New York City going to hear this.
And they have no clue what hoop cheese is.
It comes, cheese, when they make the cheese in a big circle,
Yeah,
and it's got a wax.
yeah, like a wheel.
Yeah, you got a cheesecloth and wax around it. And most of the time in the grocery store, it's already been cut up, sliced, whatever.
Yeah.
Here, we bring out the whole hoop and just cut it up into whatever they want. Had one little old lady, she's probably 80 years old, come in here. And she said, "I want 3 pounds of cheese." So I cut her 3 pounds of cheese and put it in a bag and everything. 2 days later, she comes in and she says, "You got any prunes?" So I said, "If you sell cheese, you got to have prunes."
Then brine bologna and hog head cheese.
That's just like the pulled pork.
He smokes.
We've got one old guy came in here and he said, "Man," he says, "sometimes he's from Louisiana. He said, "Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night just dreaming about your pulled pork." And I said, "Fella, you got to get you a woman."
Gotta get a
Dreaming
life,
about
folks.
pulled
Yeah.
pork.
Wow.
It's
But
funny.
you said you sell a lot of bologna.
Brine bologna, yeah. And then we do bologna sandwiches also. Yeah.
Just white bread and bologna, or
Any way they want it.
Any way they want it. If they want, we fry it.
Yeah.
Fry the bologna. Most of the time, that's the way they want
but
it.
when you fry it, do you make a little cut in it, or do you make a bologna hat where it's, how you put a piece of bologna on there and it kind of
Most of the time, they don't cut it.
They don't cut it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They fry it up and they put whatever they
You'll
want
have
in it.
so many different ways people want it cooked.
They'll
They'll tell you
how
what they want. They
it.
want to sprinkle a little flour on it or something like that. They go
White
on.
bread and mustard, and that's all
Yeah.
I need.
That's right.
You know there's people listening to this right now
Oh, really?
that they have no idea what we're talking about. don't you? They don't even know what bologna is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
We got folks that come in from Chicago about every Thanksgiving, and they'll buy several sticks because we can still get brine bologna.
That's a lot of bologna.
Yeah.
And at Thanksgiving, we do a holiday menu where we cook all these different things like hams and turkeys and butts, and then we do all the casseroles like the dressings and the sweet potato casseroles and the cakes and different things. And people call in and, they'll do their whole meal for Thanksgiving.
Off
Yeah.
of what you have here.
Right.
Do you think this store is important to this community?
I think it is. I think it is, yes.
Kind of the center of the community, isn't it? Y'all are going to fool around and keep this place going,
Well, next year will be 100 years for this building.
Show me what you're cooking over here.
Right now, I've got, that's my meat I'm about to make my taco lasagna with, and I've got corn on the cob.
Oh,
and
look at that corn.
Some green beans going. Woo. And I got a chicken pot pie in the oven.
Now, where do you make this fried chicken?
Right here.
All right, one more thing. Who taught you how to make fried chicken?
My mom.
Oh, that's all I need to know. Okay.
My mom.
right.
That's culinary school to me. You're pretty satisfied with the way your life's going.
Yeah, and I can still do a lot of stuff. I cut my own grass. I run a weed eater. I plant my own garden.
How does that feel to be running this? This is a family legacy here.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like our farm up there. When Dad stayed in debt, we got a big farm, and Dad stayed in debt because there wasn't a lot of money being made. And when I got into the logging business, it was just like a different world because I was making good money, and I paid it off. And that was one of the best feelings. When I paid that farm off, that was one of the best feelings you ever felt.
Yeah.
Man, it felt great.
And thanks again for listening to this week's edition of On the Road with Kelly and Bob. There truly are some gems out on the back roads across America. Be sure and follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram. Even subscribe to our YouTube channel and see some behind the scenes footage. Don't forget, you can listen wherever you get your podcast, or the best thing to do, download that free Odyssey app. Listen anytime, anywhere.